So apparently most men aren't husband material, and I thought that we'd give this article on bold.com a look, and we'll discuss why men aren't husband material and what they can do to improve. Gentlemen, settle in. I'm sure you're going to be all ears for this. So most women I know don't actually want a husband or a boyfriend, but finding that it is easier said than done. Do actually want a husband or boyfriend, but are finding that easier said than done. After all, it's hard to have a great relationship when the vast majority of men aren't worth a damn. If you're about to scoff about this, consider the writing on the wall. So, men, you suck. This woman's not happy. Men suck, women most affected. Do you understand? This is how this works. So number one, the fact that having a side chick is so widespread is a major problem.
What? No, it's not.
To the women, it is.
What do you mean? Like, cheating on your girlfriend is a taboo in our culture.
Sure, but apparently...
We're not French.
Well, yeah, sure, but like in the modern culture of dating that you're in, incidentally, apparently our generation simply has a massive gap when it comes to infidelity. Guys see having two girls like a status symbol. On the other hand, if girls do it, we're promiscuous. The truth is that men who've got a side chick deserve no chick at all. I mean, who is in favour of this promiscuity? I mean, obviously men are, but who is like normally the restraining force in society? Who is it that demands the commitment before giving access to sex? Should be the women. But again, that's traditionalism. That's sort of like, old-fashioned values. Can't have old-fashioned values because they don't work. They're wrong. They're awful. Apart from now, when it would have prevented this problem.
I know they're built all of civilization, but they're totally wrong. Trust me.
Yeah,
I'm aggressive.
They don't work, honestly. But no, so it's just apparently common for young men to date multiple women at the same time, and the women are just giving it up while being cheated on. Don't know why they allow that to happen. If I were a young woman, I'd be bloody picky about who I ended up sleeping with, but then what do I know? Anyway, number two, guys have gotten increasingly demanding with looks. It's all too common to hear guys bemoan how they can't get a hot girl while they themselves bring little in terms of looks to the table. The fact that men who often look like troll dolls with pot bellies who demand to have a solid dime is hypocrisy at its finest. They should learn to be more open-minded about looks. After all, most girls I've met will give a not-so-hot guy a shot if his personality is good.
I mean, I kind of agree on the basis that men should try and look better than they do. But there's obviously the disconcerting part here that, well, it's not an equal street. And the concern for looks is not the same for men to women and women to men.
No, it's not. But, I like this as well. That it's men that have been the upward pushing force to make women look better. It's like, no, it's not.
No, it's women.
I mean, it is obviously women. Like, if women all just collectively decided tomorrow to not wear makeup, do you think men would be like, well, that's it, I don't want sex anymore? Of course not, right? So, and then you look at...
all those men running the fashion catalogs?
Exactly. And Instagram and all of that. It's women compete with one another in looks. And I guess, I mean, you've seen the videos of them literally painting their faces. And you like the sort of Chinese Asian women who take literally the entire thing off and it's a different woman underneath. That's the sort of level of skill that women have attained with makeup now. And it's like, well, men are just adjusting to that. Sorry. Anyway. Statistically, women are more likely to be employed than men. That's interesting. It's down. I'm skipping that sponsored one.
No,
this means that some guys can't even put food on the table. Traditionally, that's their job. While we could suggest that more stay-at-home dads, statistics show that women will still end up also doing most of the work around the house too. So why would anyone marry someone who's basically unable or unwilling to contribute anything? If he's not working, he's not homemaking, he's not worth it. Wow, what a repudiation of feminism. Return to tradition. Traditionally, it's their job. How dare they? How dare they be literally edged out of the work market because of all the affirmative action for women? I agree. Absolutely based. Put men back in charge of the workplace. Demand women because they want husbands.
Women, know your place. Why? Because I want a husband.
Yeah. This is Jordan Peterson's point, though. Look at the men you want. If you're going to undermine men and you want to, make them not the breadwinners, well, what do you want to marry? Here we go. Number 5, rudeness at an unprecedented level. It's true, and if you don't believe it, just go on OkCupid and talk to some men. Generally speaking, men who are fine with being rude to women before a date even starts aren't worth dating, marrying, or speaking to. Well, have you considered that perhaps the amount of access to women and intercourse with women has become so easy for men because of women's such low standards that they don't need to be polite to you anymore? They don't need to treat you well because I'm like, okay, I'll just date another woman. because there are loads of them around and none of them are demanding a commitment before sex. It's like, sorry, I know that sounds awfully retrograde and traditional, but I
Tinder
don't
exists.
I
That's
don't-
the reason why I hate it.
I don't know whether you've noticed, though, but you're currently leaning on traditional roles for men to get your husbands. So maybe you need to think about the things that women need to do in order to fulfill their part of this bargain, and then we can actually return to normal relationships. Anyway,
How do you feel about banning Tinder?
well, I don't care.
Just sex apps.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like banning stuff at the best of times, but like,
No, I'm just
It
saying
sounds
as a
re-
thought experiment. I'm just like, well, what?
it really does sound like there should be an understanding that your own moral discipline should preclude you from using Tinder. Like, it sounds awful.
It is a vice.
Yes. Anyway, number 6. Our generation is plagued with the way that we're always looking to trade up.
What?
We trade up jobs all the time. We trade up our iPhones, our furniture, and at times even our friends. Sadly, our generation also takes this attitude to significant others. While it isn't always a common sentiment, it happens frequently enough that certain guys just don't realize what they had until they're old, alone, and traded out. Ah, yes. It's the guys who end up old, alone, and traded out. It's the guys who end up like that. It's the guys. The guys can't get dates when they're older, you see. But a guy in his 40s, totally unattractive to women. Women in her 40s, absolute babe. Hot property. All the men are chasing after.
But also, what's wrong with trading up as a concept?
No. I think she's got a point here. It's a lack of commitment and fidelity and loyalty. You know, you didn't choose that person because
Oh,
you
you
love
mean
them.
you leave a person to...
Yeah,
Right, okay.
you think you've got a bad prospect.
I thought
and-
she just meant like, trying to get someone who's better than you kind of thing. Like
No,
you're
no.
a 5, so you go for a 6.
No, but they're thinking like constantly trying to get better looking
Right,
women. But this is again another thing. It's like, well, okay, you're relying on traditional conservative views of relationship. You marry a person, you're married for life because you're with that person that you love, and you're not looking around for other options because you're there to build a commitment and a life together. Very conservative. Returning to tradition via feminism. Number 7, too many men out there have a major Peter Pan complex. Too many guys out there expect their parents to take care of them. When they're out of the house, they expect their girlfriends to take care of them. Unless you have a serious Florence Nightingale syndrome at work, it's pretty obvious these guys aren't good boyfriend material. That's true. The society around them has told them that men are no longer meant to be the breadwinners and the people who pay for everything and the head of the household, dare we say. And this is what happens. These young men never grow up.
I wonder, is she referring to the situation, though, that some guys basically become useless once they've got a woman in their lives? Like, they don't do any of the basic stuff to run yourself?
No.
Make your own food and whatnot?
No, I don't think it's even that. Yes, that's probably a part
Because
of it.
I actually agree that's kind of embarrassing when you see
yeah.
someone who gets a woman in their life and then they just don't know how to cook anymore, don't know how to take care of themselves. It's like...
Yeah, but
I
then
don't
I
understand.
think she's complaining here that basically these men never develop these skills anyway.
Oh, well,
Because they act like adult children, and that's true. But that's because society isn't asking anything of them. It's in fact telling them, young men, stop doing things, stop achieving, stop accomplishing. We need to get women in the workplace. We need diversity and equality, and therefore men who are very competitive need to just learn to be losers. And this is the kind of generation that we're breeding.
well, we don't accept competitiveness as a legitimate form of...
Exactly. It's toxic masculinity, Callum. And the kickback on all of this is that women are like, well, hang on a second. I've only got these bloody losers who don't even know how to cook their own dinner to date. I didn't want this. Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? Anyway, moving on. The nice guy complex is strong with too many guys out there. They're so nice until you say no. Then they shriek in anger, call you a friend-zoning B-word, and can't get why you won't give nice guys like them a chance. Next. There didn't used to be guys like this. There used to be obligations on both sides. You be a man, she'll be a woman, and then you both know your place. You'll start a relationship. Instead of trying to kind of worm your way in by being a nice guy, basically don't allow yourself to be friend-zoned. If you ask a woman out, don't like ingratiate yourself with a woman and think that eventually she'll start dating you either. Be bold, be upfront about it. And if she says no, then just walk off, Go and find a woman who'll say yes. But she's not wrong about the nice guys. Stop being a nice guy, be yourself. They're insecure, number 9. For all the stuff so many men demand, millennial men tend to be exceptionally insecure. This just tends to open up an entire can of worms, ranging from slut-shaming to passive-aggressive behaviour. Do women need this in their lives? Absolutely not. Sure, but they are also the people.
No, I think women need slut shaming in their lives.
Sure, but like, do they need insecure men is the question. Yeah, sure. And the answer is no. But then when you've got literally all of these initiatives in society to demonize men, denigrate them, remove them from positions of honor and authority, and generally tell them that everything masculine that they do is wrong, it's not surprising that they don't really know their own place in the world. I mean, there used to be fairly like sensible structures in place. Say, look, you're a man, you're going to have to provide for a family, therefore work hard, get a job, get cracking, get a wife.
I just noticed both of those examples, Sheaves, as well, are not very masculine. They're quite feminine. Like, when you think of a group of people who engage in slut-shaming and passive-aggressive behavior, who do you think of?
Definitely women.
Like, friends of women.
Yeah. Women's friends, yeah. Jealous women. But yeah, so anyway, this is, again, speaks to the demasculinization of men. Not good for women if they want husbands, because I assume they want men. Anyway, number 10. Some straight up just lost interest in a relationship. Some guys feel that there's only a loss to be had by getting into a relationship. They feel like women want their money, or they feel like there's more to be had by just keeping at booty calls with multiple women. They don't want families, nor do they care about anything other than themselves. It's sad, it's crappy, and it tells volumes about the current state of men and how they think. One can only wonder how that will work out for them 30 years from now, and how that will work out for women. I mean, it's not men writing this Cope article going, well, hang on a second, I can't find a decent husband. All of the men have been turned into infantile, effeminate losers. So, yeah, well, who did that? Who told them that men aren't worthy? Who told them that men need to be kept down? It's what feminism has done to us. You can whine about it all you want, but they basically did just turn men into women.
Like maleism or whatever you call it isn't storming the beaches of the culture.
Patriarchy. Like the patriarchy would normally have produced men of higher quality, and the matriarchy under feminism is producing men of low quality. This is what you get. You know, you can restore men's honor whenever you want because it's the women that took it away. You know, this wasn't men going, right, we need to...
took it away.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay, feminists, but like women's activists, basically. You know, it wasn't men saying, oh, what we need to do is ruin masculinity. That'll make the world a better place. It wasn't
You know,
men who did that.
I hate being a man.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was some, like Robert Webb, who literally does do that.
Oh, they're a male feminist.
Yeah, exactly. He's a male feminist. But anyway, the general campaign against masculinity was initiated by feminist activists. It's been very successful, and now you're reaping the rewards. Number 11, men are way too entitled. It's ironic. I mean, just... Anyway, no more comments about women and their entitlement. We have to dodge guys who feel entitled to sex. We have to deal with men who think that they deserve a supermodel when they have faces that look like feet. We have to deal with the guys who call us shallow when we reject them for not even having a job going for them. F that noise. With the winners in the current dating pool, who can blame the girls for staying single? Well, who's not entitled here? I'm entitled to a high-quality man. Sorry, we've produced nothing but low-quality men. Well, I can't believe they feel entitled to have sex with me. You're all entitled. Everyone's entitled to something, or feels entitled to something, if they put in the work for something else. But who created this state of affairs? Who created it? It wasn't the Conservatives, was it? It wasn't those people saying, well, you should man up, you should do the thing that a man should do, and you should do the thing that a woman should do. You should adhere to these traditional gender roles because they have a purpose. It wasn't those people, it was the feminists. It was left-wingers. They did this to men.
Or the people moaning about the word bossy.
Yeah, God, yeah, ban bossy. Okay, you
God, I missed that.
Yeah, innocent times. But yeah, this is something that has been done to young men, and this is what you get.